What's up, everybody? Kurt Busch, Nashville, and we are taking over. NASCAR's here to party it up for the awards banquet. We're at the Grand Ole Opry here at the Ryman Auditorium, and we're going to give you the 10-minute tour with some special friends of mine to really anchor in what the old heart of the Ryman Auditorium is about. So I brought my two best friends to make this happen, boys. Introduce yourselves and tell everybody
I'm Frankie Ballard, and this is Josh. He's really the expert and knows all the details about this beautiful place. And we just wanted to try to talk and share with you how much the Ryman means to country music. And I know that there's places around the NASCAR circuit that have the history. And I think it'd be cool to kind of discuss some of those things. And if we get off track here, Josh is going to rail us in. So one of the things I was thinking about when I found out we were going to do this was how through the ages, nobody's really beat the Ryman. You know, you can get to bigger arenas and the technology and the light show and everything else, but at the end of the day, through all of these performances and years, that stage down there is still one of the best places to play, and up here is one of the best places to see a show. I mean, is there a place like that in NASCAR that you love to see come up on the schedule and that you know historically it just means a lot to the fans as well?
Yeah, I mean, to your point, like Daytona built this huge style stadium, seating, luxury suites, different party decks, and everywhere to enjoy our races at 200 miles an hour, right? You know, Vegas has this cool garage area where you can come right on in, where you're literally tapping the window and the mechanics are working on the car.
Wow.
When you
state of the art.
I mean, it's like blown open, so cool, and in so many different ways to absorb our sport. But when you walk in the front door of the Ryman, it's like a blast to the past. It makes you feel like a kid, and you're coming to a historical site, and that's the way all of us drivers feel about Darlington. Darlington Raceway, the Ryman Theater and Auditorium here give you that feel of respect this place. This place has launched how many careers, yet how many people come back to play here to be able to stand on that stage and make themselves feel like a kid again, right?
Oh my goodness. How many shows, Josh, does this auditorium put on every year, on average?
On average, it's changed a lot over the years. This year, we're actually going to see over 300. I think it's about 310 this year.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, very, very active, very busy concert venue.
So Darlington is one time a year they open the track, or are they doing events there throughout the year?
No, it's really that one Southern 500 race, and I think that's what separates that track from a lot of the others, is that that's their moment to shine, and that's when everything is there. And I tell a lot of my friends from all across the country, you want a true NASCAR feel, you want to get to the South, you go to Darlington, because it's like 2.5 hours from any major city. You got to commit to go to get there.
Wow.
And so just like last night, you know, watching the acts that came on to the stage, and the feel like they probably weren't paid to be here. They volunteered to be here. They volunteered to be part of NASCAR at the Opry and Champions Week. And that's what we would all do as drivers. If somebody said, all right, we need to put on a special event, let's go do it. We'd go there.
I remember my first time playing the Grand Ole Opry. I got to do it from the Ryman Auditorium here, and I felt the history of who's been on the stage before me, and it made me nervous, but it also made me very reverent to where I was, and it made me retrospective and think about those kind of things. And ultimately, I think it changed my performance. I know that you've experienced a lot of shows here. It seems to me like whenever somebody's playing at the Ryman, they have to take their game to the next level. Is that the same at Darlington? You feel like you feel those drivers who have come before you, and it makes you want to elevate your game?
A quick answer to that is when you win a championship, or if you won the Daytona 500, if you've won at Indianapolis, if you've got all these boxes checked off, which I have quite a few of them, but I haven't won the Southern 500, that's that feel of there's something missing still. And so, I mean, just walking down below, right, the green rooms, the different levels of where some of the artists have to wait before they perform. I mean, it's mastered chaos behind the scenes. Tell us about some of the green room areas and some of the staging on how all this gets produced with that much talent shoved into this little auditorium.
It's very small back there.
They're very small, you're absolutely right. And this building, you know, so we weren't built to be a concert venue, we were built to be a tabernacle. So space has always been an issue. So even by modern standards, absolutely. Modern standards are, but dressing rooms are still pretty small because, you know, dressing rooms were not in the design of the building. So let's say glory days of the Opry, you know, 43 to 74, and it was here. There were 4 dressing rooms. There were 3 dressing rooms stage right, makeup room, 2 men's dressing rooms stage left. There was a women's dressing room, and that was it. That was pretty tight. So in the 90s, they did renovate, gave us a few more dressing rooms, but you know, they're still pretty small today. They can be pretty tight.
And what's the seating capacity here at the Ryman?
2,362 is our capacity.
It's pretty tight, right? Very intimate?
Very intimate, absolutely. And these are the original pews. You're sitting in the same oak pews that generations have sat in. And, you know, people vary in size. And so sometimes these pews can be tight for shows as well. But it's a communal
This
experience,
is something
right?
I wanted to do for the camera here. Let's all sit and have the camera look over our shoulders.
Okay.
I wanted to really show our fans how intimate. And you can kind of lead in on what it means to sit right here and how close you are to the act.
I saw Merle Haggard on this stage from the front row here, and as a fan walking in, I thought, I'm in the balcony, am I going to be too far away? I want to get close to the action, you know, but then, number one, knowing that I was going to get to sit in the old pews and thinking about all the fans who had sat here and the shows that they had watched and the Johnny Cash show and all of this stuff that had happened right here was one thing, but I was blown away by how close you actually are up here in the front row and how it leans over and you think, wow, I'm
It's like you can almost touch them. They're just like right there.
and that fan experience, I think, is what matters the most about the Ryman, is that not only do you feel great as a performer up on the stage, but as a fan, getting to see a show in this room is just as special, you know. Is Darlington, is it tough on the fans and the drivers because it's old? Like the parking and is it more of a struggle to kind of to experience the race?
Yeah, to push through, like as far as like the old school parking areas, there's nothing really lit up. You know, there's not really the zones of this is parking spot A or B. When you get your garage ticket, there's no real signs and things. You have to know. It's like you got to have that old friend that already knows how to walk around and get around.
And that's the good stuff.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
people just push through that, right? It's a different old school feel. And
as a driver, is there less space and less kind of luxury as far as, you know, the way that you have to set up your world and the space that you guys each carve out? Is that a different thing? Because here at the Ryman, you know, like you said with the dressing rooms and the alley backstage, you have to get intimate. You have to get kind of closer than you're used to.
yeah, this is exactly a carbon copy, so to speak. Like where Darlington's front straightaway is right next to pit road. The grandstands are right on top of that.
Wow.
And then the garage area, it's just an old carport. So it's Southern 500 weekend, it's Labor Day weekend. It's 95 degrees outside, everybody's sweating, everything's hot, right? And nobody cares. Because it's Darlington, you push through it, and then, you know, about 100 laps into the 500-mile race, that's when the sun sets and you get that true cool feel of, all right, somebody's going to be crowned the Southern 500 champion in a couple hours, and we're all here together to make this happen.
So looking forward into the future, you guys have tours going on constantly. People wanting to come and see what the Ryman is. I mean, what are some of the plans for the future? Is it business as usual, or I mean, 300 shows? It's hard to do more than that. But is there anything exciting coming up at the Ryman?
Oh, there's always something. You know, we're always looking ahead. I mean, as you say, it's a strange sort of venue because we're doing tours every day and mostly concerts every night. So we're working with the nighttime business every single day. It's like Brett Eldridge is getting ready to load in for a 2-night show here. So we're doing tours out here in front of house and then did a few backstage, but then they take over for the load in. That all being said, we're always planning a lot more shows next year. It's always, you know, we got to do better next year, and we're always thinking about how can we improve the daytime tour experience and new exhibits and new content. You know.
Wow. Do people, do the fans, Kurt, do they come to some of those old tracks? Do you find them getting there early and wanting to get a taste of the history, or is it really about the race that day? I mean, I know NASCAR fans are very nostalgic and they love the history.
It's some of the best part about our race weekends is coming in early and camping all weekend. You know, you get the race day crowd that comes in just for that ticket for that 500-mile race, but most of the NASCAR fans, and the way you enjoy NASCAR the best is to camp all weekend. You're there grilling out, you got the kids, you know, the family, everybody, friends. Whether it's a boys' weekend, family weekend, people want to be there for 3-4 days, and the infield turns into this mosh pit. So just the whole vibe of everything of Darlington and the Grand Ole Opry, that's when you find the best comparisons.
I'm thinking that NASCAR and country music are closer, especially in the fans, than I ever even realized. You know?
Isn't it amazing? So I just want to give you guys that quick tour and show you that comparison. The Grand Ole Opry is a must-stop on your tour through Nashville.